Welcome to the Coastal Business Channel, and now you've decided to become a financial advisor. Thanks so much for watching my last video. I don't think I did a great job selling it. I felt a little muted, so here's a little bit more energy for you. So you've decided to become a financial advisor. You love the idea of having your own business. You love the idea that you're in control of how big you grow it, and to be honest with you, a lot of how big you grow it is your effort. You want to put in a lot of effort, you can grow it pretty big. I've done very well. I have put in a lot of effort, just like I have with this YouTube channel. I like to succeed. So here are the steps you need to take. So first and foremost, you need a bachelor degree. Now, FINRA does not say that you need a bachelor's degree from an Ivy school or a highly competitive school. So I've actually done a couple of videos. I think they're not coming out until later because I'm gonna dump these videos in sooner, but on online schools. So you can get a degree from an online school. I would make sure it's accredited, but you just need a 4-year bachelor's degree from an accredited college to get started on becoming a financial advisor. From there are licenses you need. You need either a Series 7 or a Series 6, 63, 65, 66. There's a bunch of licenses. There's different combinations. So if you get a 6, then you need another one. If you get a 7, you need a couple other 2, or 2 are combined into 1, etc. It's a little bit messy of the licenses you need. So depending on whether you want to be work on an advisory basis, I primarily will only work on an advisory basis. And so I actually didn't need a 7, I only needed a 6. Morgan Stanley insisted that I get a 7, so I have a 7, and they also insisted I get a life insurance license, which I finally decided not to renew because I do not sell life insurance. The other is I have the ability to not sell mortgages, but to refer mortgages. So I did have to get like a mortgage license to be able to do that. It was kind of a little crazy because I don't do those things, but with Morgan Stanley, there were some options. So what I would say is, you know, if you're getting your college degree, try to do an internship with a financial advisor. I would love to have an internship. I don't think I'm going to do it this year because we want to go down to Florida, but maybe next year. I'd love to have an intern. I'd love to teach them what I know and what they need to know to have a career. Because if you're going into finance and you're not looking into do private equity or investment banking or hedge funds, like have your own business, be in control of your destiny, work where you want to work. To me, it's been fantastic. So now that you have your 4-year degree and you can do an internship, now you can look to do an internship at a small place, a solo, and like an entrepreneur or a solo person, or you could look to try to do an internship at Morgan Stanley or Merrill Lynch or Raymond James. There's a whole host of companies out there that will have internships available. Or you can actually look to become your own RIA. And I'll explain that in a little bit. But what I would tell you, if you are a new graduate or you're in school now and you're looking to go into financial advisory work, I would work for one of the big companies. And mainly is they have the training program. There is a crazy amount of information you need to know. You need to know how equities work. You need to know how bonds work. You need to know about taxes and estate planning. There is a lot. Education planning, 529s. I mean, there's just different types of trusts. Like there's just a huge amount of information you know. And thankfully, I came to the table knowing the majority of it and actually having a huge interest in estate planning. I want to make sure my husband and I set up our estate properly. I wanted to help my parents set up their estate properly. So if you go to one of these larger firms, they have people that are experts in all of that. And over time, there's a training program where they just dump a ton of information at you. But over time, as you work with other people and you have clients and your client says, hey, I want to do a financial plan, you call up the financial planning department, you work with someone to go over the financial plan, you have that person explain to you the financial plan. Now all of a sudden you're becoming an expert. So if you are starting from ground zero, I definitely would look to one of those training programs. If you are thinking about becoming a financial advisor as like a second career, second stage of a career like I did, and you're coming to the table with a wealth of information, I will tell you, I do feel that those training programs at the big companies are definitely worth it. I mean, I definitely had confidence calling up a prospect saying I was with Morgan Stanley. It turns out that now when I call, nobody cares that I'm not with Morgan Stanley, or nobody cares that I'm not with a big firm. They care where I have my assets custody and clearing done, but they don't care that I'm not with Morgan Stanley. I will tell you, it actually hasn't hurt me one bit not being with a big firm, which I do find surprising. I thought it would hurt me, but it hasn't at all. So if you are starting your second career and you have that, body of knowledge that you need, I would strongly consider doing an RIA, and that's a registered investment advisor. Now you're thinking like, oh, Laura, aren't you a registered investment advisor? No. An RIA, I don't know why FINRA did this, but that's like the body, like that's the business, right? So an RIA is a business. I am an investment advisor representative, which makes sense that I'm a representative. The RIA doesn't necessarily make sense. The fact that I'm a representative does make sense. So an RIA is where licenses are housed. So I'm independent. I'm not an RIA. I'm affiliated with Capital Securities and I clear through Raymond James. So my licenses are with Capital Securities. They're in charge of my compliance and all of that. If I become an RIA, I'm in charge of the compliance. The RIA is in charge of compliance. My licenses are held with the RIA. I still have to be licensed as an independent investment advisor, so representative. So I still have to be that, but it takes 4 to 6 months to become an RIA, and then you have more control over how you build out your business and who you hire. Now, I think if I hire someone, I do have to have them go through Capital Securities because that's where that person's licenses would be. So that's something to keep in mind. If you have decided not to go the RIA route, I shouldn't say a new financial advisor, the average financial advisor in the United States, the median income is $93,500. Well, the market has gone down. So if you're work advisory like I do, my market goes down, my income goes down, or my salary goes down, my compensation goes down. But on average, I think wages are tight. So if you're just starting out, you should probably bump up and get a higher starting salary. At least I would ask for it. I was kind of upset with Morgan Stanley. Like they're giving all these other places in the business raises, but they're not actually compensated their financial advisors more, the ones who bring in the majority of the business. But if you're starting out and you're looking to get hired, I would probably argue for a higher pay. There's wage inflation across the United States and there's just inflation in general. So I would ask for and aim for more than $93,000. I think being a financial advisor is a wonderful career. Get your 4-year degree and then contact these firms. Usually you get licensed through the big firms or through, if you're affiliated with another company, if you do your own RIA, you will have to get licensed through your RIA that you've set up. But I think it's a wonderful career. I hope this is helpful. Good luck on your journey.